Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hello. Story time today. I didn't tell a story last week, but I'll share a story today. So, during my years of going down this rabbit hole of Bigfoot, I started investigating it for like about 8 years, maybe more than 8 years. Collecting stories and hiking where they said to cross, and the creekways and the ridge tops, and I started finding signs and evidence of trails and movement of groups and families. And in the area there's a dad, a mom, and two little babies, and they raid the community. This is on the Navajo Nation. This is one of the Navajo Nation's best secrets, kept secrets. So yeah, there's a lot of activity in Western Navajo. So my story is gonna take place in a mountain, at a mountain, and the story involves an aunt of my wife's aunt. So she was a little girl. The story takes place a while ago. So she was a little girl, and she was herding her goats and her sheep. She was by herself, and this freak storm came, and it started snowing. It started these blizzard conditions. She couldn't see that far ahead of her, and the only thing that she could do, she lost her sheeps and the goats, and all she could do was go find a tree. She hid underneath the tree, and she rolled herself up, and she was freezing, and she thought she was gonna die there, and she was saying she was getting sleepy, and she eventually she fell asleep, but moments later she realized that she was being carried by something that had hair, full of hair, and very warm. And she felt safe and warm and comfortable, and moments later, this she was being placed down on her feet. This thing turned her around, placed her on her porch, her front porch, and she turned around to see who brought her all the way home. And it was one of these hairy guys. She said he was really tall, long arms, red hair, huge eyes. So this thing scooped her up during the blizzard, took her all the way to her house, to her front porch. And how does it know where she lives, So, it brought her home, and she turned around and she seen this Bigfoot, taking steps backwards, away from her, and she told him thank you, and thank you for saving my life. And she watched Bigfoot back up all the way into the tree line, and she can see his eyes reflecting. And he walked away to the mountain, towards the mountain. And she also said, still to this day, she feels that Bigfoot's outside. She feels that he's around. She just knows, and to this day, she goes out to her front door and looks out, and she'll see him standing in the tree line, watching. Or he'll take a step out the tree line so he can reveal himself to her, and she'll take a step out her front door and tell him, wave her hand saying, I'm okay, I'm still alive, I'm safe, don't worry about me, I'm still okay. And she says all that in Navajo, by the way. She says that to him, and he turns and walks north, to the mountain. So this, during my times of investigating, hearing stories from a lot of witnesses, testimonials, and a lot of times they don't want to tell anything. They don't want to say anything to anybody because, ridicule, getting laughed at. So that's why I don't mind hearing the stories and relaying it for them. I don't mind taking all the smoke. I don't mind taking all the smoke and all the criticism. I know what I've seen, I know what I experienced, and the evidence that I've seen, and the experiences. No one can tell me otherwise. But that's one of the stories I like to share today. And there's gonna be more stories of my times of out in the field alone most of the time. But it's a very fascinating topic, this Sasquatch. I'll be posting pictures slowly. But thank you for listening today and watching the sun come up with me this morning. You guys have a great day. God bless.